Buddy, this is Dr. Brian Tavoian. I just like to be called Brian. I'm the owner of Tavoian Dentistry, Tavoian Family Dentistry. I'm the owner of Southern Utah Face, Mind, and Body. Now, this podcast is for Southern Utah Face, Mind, and Body, and it is run out of my dental office. And some people say, well, what in the world are you doing face, mind, and body in a dental office? Well, it's kind of like the whole shoot match. It's the whole body. You know, I'm so used to making people's smiles better and making it so they laugh and smile. I had one guy today that had a missing tooth in front and he smiles like this, you know, and we talked about getting an implant. Well, and so that he doesn't look like he's from Alabama. And sorry if anybody's from Alabama, but I just joke about that. Anyway, why am I doing, bringing this around? Why am I doing all this stuff for the face, mind, and body? Well, because I want to. Because it helps people more than just with their mouth, just with eating, with laughing, smiling, talking. We have machines that can help with your mind, make your face look younger and be strengthen your muscles in your face so you do look younger. Strengthen muscles and joints all throughout your body. And another one is what's called the Emcella, which strengthens your pelvic floor. Whether you're male or female, we have machines for all parts of the body. And today what we want to do, I have Crete Gallagher here. Crete, introduce yourself.
Yeah, so nice to be here, Doc.
Thanks.
So my name's Crete Gallagher. I'm the practice success manager here in Utah for BTL Medical. So my job is really just to, for doctors like you that bring on devices, help clients understand what these devices are, how they work, how they can change their lives. So,
Well, that's great. And I brought this young man in because he's an expert at knowing what's going on with all the machines. And tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to talk specifically about EMFACE and all the different modalities and hand pieces and what we can do with the EMFACE. Now, what the EMFACE is, and that correlates to dentistry the most out of anything that we do here. But again, we're stepping outside those lines and doing a whole body type of wellness and fitness, and not just working out and lifting weights. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about joints and muscles and getting rid of fat, strengthening your muscles in your face, making you look younger, feel younger, act younger, and your body just feel better. Not only that, your body, but your mind also. And again, we're going to take all of that and we're just going to talk about one of the four machines that I have, the EMFACE. Now, what correlates this, and getting back to just the EMFACE, what correlates, of course, what do? As dentists, we go through an entire year of anatomy with just the head and neck. Not just, we also do the whole body, just like a physician does, but the head and neck. We know every hole in your head. I mean, we joke about, I need this as much as I need another hole in my head. You have hundreds of holes in your head, basically. So anyway, what are we talking about? We're talking about how to make the face look better, feel better, younger, create more of our own body fluids and things to make them look better, stronger. And Crete, I want you to go ahead and talk about some of these different modalities, these treatment modalities, and we'll interject with some treatment that I've done on patients and some stories and what people have said and thought. And yeah, so let's talk about the EMFACE.
Absolutely. First and foremost, you brought up why is a dentist doing this? Yeah. And it's interesting. So there is a group, it's called AAFE, American Academy of Facial Aesthetics. Dentists are the number one fastest growing specialty getting AAFE certified to do Botox, to do dermal fillers. And so dentists across the country are not only going more into for functional, for TMJ issues, but for facial aesthetics. And for us at BTL Medical, one of our fastest growing specialties is dentistry.
Interesting.
Specific to facial aesthetics. Again, and a lot of people, if you don't know this, dentists are experts from the neck up. The amount of schooling that dentists get nigh what facial plastic surgeons get in terms of how well you understand the anatomy. And so it isn't, not only is it not a stretch, it's a step in the same direction that you're going as a dentist. And so, so for, it might be weird that a dentist is doing this kind of stuff, but it is in no way, shape, or form outside what a dentist is capable of doing and is extremely expert in.
Our knowledge base, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. So EMFACE. So to give you a little bit of background on BTL. So BTL, we are an equipment manufacturer and distributor. We've placed over 600,000 devices in over 90 countries worldwide. One of our perennial devices is the EMFACE. And so basically what the EMFACE is, just an umbrella term, it's a workout for your face. And so we're able to tighten and tone the musculature in the face while also helping heal the skin and reduce fat in the double chin area. And so when you think about facial aesthetics has been around for a very long time. And a lot of smart people out there have created amazing solutions for tightening skin, for getting rid of fat, for getting rid of pigmentation, for just really reversing the clock. But a massive, massive hole in the facial aesthetics industry pre-EMFACE was muscle. People weren't talking about muscle laxity. People weren't talking about, and we talk about it all the time for our bodies. We're very aware that our muscles on our bodies are atrophying. But as we get older, our facial muscles atrophy as well. Right. And so not only does the skin relax, I use relax rather than sag. Yeah.
Well, we learn to use different words that mean the same thing that aren't as harsh. Yes.
Yeah. So as the skin starts to, relax, and you start to accumulate some fat, your muscles in your face also start to relax as well. And so those are the three major causes of facial aging: skin laxity, fat accumulation, and muscle laxity, all three. And so when we decided to create the EMFACE, that was the hole in that industry that we felt was targeting that third major cause of facial aging while also treating the skin and the fat as well. And so EMFACE, we're able to treat 5 different areas. So at the very top, we're able to treat the forehead. We're able to go under the eyes, the cheeks, under the chin here, and we also have a TMJ applicator as well. We're able to relax and relieve any pain, stress, overuse of the TMJ joint as well, to help improve your life and decrease pain. So starting at the very top of what we're doing. So first and foremost, any areas, we're increasing collagen, we're increasing elastin, and we're tightening the skin. All the way up and down the face. We're doing that with each of these applicators. But going one by one. So let's start with the forehead. Fine lines and wrinkles. We're able to relax those, and we're also able to give a non-invasive brow lift. So there's a muscle here called the frontalis. We're tightening and toning that muscle to help lift everything up here in the upper face. When we go under the eyes, there's actually a little muscle under here, under your eye. Mm-hmm. And so we're tightening and toning that muscle, and at the same token, there is a little fatty pad underneath our eyes. As those muscles under the eyes start to relax, that fatty pad likes to protrude. So under the eye bags, although not strictly caused by this, but a lot of them are caused by that fatty pad starting to protrude a little bit. And so when we're able to tighten and tone that muscle, we're able to push that fatty pad back to where it's supposed to be.
So you don't have puffy eyes or bags under your eyes as much.
100%.
Exactly.
And at the same time, we're able to help with dark circles as well under the eyes, and then crow's feet. So wrinkles all the way around the lower eye and around the side of the eye, we're able to help relax all of those wrinkles as well, and just tighten everything up again. So if you did the under the eyes and the forehead, that is the upper facelift that you're able to do. Moving down the face, so going with the cheeks, the muscles that make you smile, those are called elevator muscles in your cheeks. And what we're doing is we're tightening and toning those to help lift everything back into its original position. And so we're helping with the edges of your mouth. We're helping those curl better. We're helping getting rid of these lines around the mouth. We actually have, speaking of little fatty pads that we have, natural fatty pads right here in our upper cheeks. As we get older, skin starts to sag, the muscles start to relax. These fatty pads start to come down as well. So when we can tighten and tone these muscles, we can actually move those fatty pads back to where they're supposed to be. Everything's connected in our face, everything.
Absolutely.
So when we can tighten and tone those muscles, we can push that back up, and we actually get a 1.6 milliliter increase in volume in the upper cheeks. That's the equivalent of about 1.5 syringes of filler. So a lot of people will take filler and to boost volume in the upper cheeks, because in the world of facial aesthetics and beauty, they talk all the time about the beauty triangle. And so it's all about trying to have this triangle, less volume here, more volume here, and just have that. As you get older, it starts to straighten out and sometimes invert. And so it's always about getting back to that triangle, the beauty triangle. And so we're able to increase volume by 1.6 milliliters here and decrease volume by just over a milliliter here as well. So
now, again, none of what we're talking about here are really pads that we place on your face. There's no cutting, there's no needles, there's nothing like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, great point. Taking a step back there, we're putting little applicators on your face, and these are utilizing two technologies simultaneously. Number one is called high-FES technology. It stands for high-intensity facial electrostimulation. So basically, we took electric stimulation, and we took that to our 600 people in research and development. We spent tens of thousands of hours, a lot of money, figuring out what is the correct amount of hertz and the right kind of contractions in the right amount of time to get the results we're looking for. So we took that electric stimulation, we created high-FES technology, and after 4 20-minute treatments is what we found to be the amount of treatments that you need to do to tighten and tone those muscles. And then we're also...
No knives, no
Nothing.
Scalpels, no needles.
100%. It's fully non-invasive and very comfortable.
Right.
The other technology we're using is radio frequency. That's heat. We're putting heat on the skin. Above the jawline, we're not burning any fat. Any fat above your jawline you want to keep, you want to preserve. You don't want to lose any of that fat.
And all you want to do is reposition it.
That's correct. Yeah. Yep. You just want it in the right areas.
Right.
Yeah. And so, so we're using the high-FES and that radio frequency technology simultaneously. So continuing with the cheeks, we're able to just lift everything, and that repositions everything where it's supposed to be. Again, lines around the mouth, repositioning these fatty pads, increase in volume in the upper cheeks, decrease in volume in the lower cheeks, and we're able to help with jowl lines as well. So people, when your skin starts to come down and accumulate here, we're able to reposition all of that and bring it back up. And then the applicator down here is unique because we crank up the heat. Any fat above the jawline you want to keep, any fat below the jawline you want to get rid of. So we crank up the heat, and we are actually able to permanently remove those fat cells non-invasively. So to get a little more sciencey with it, we're causing apoptosis. Apoptosis is the process by which fat cells die. And so we're able to liquefy those fat cells, and we're not just shrinking them. We actually they get permanently removed from your body. You pee them out, you sweat them out, your body takes care of those dead fat cells. So it's not just shrinking them, it's actually getting rid of them. And we get a 30% reduction in the double chin area, which is huge. It's hard to do. It's a hard thing to target. It's hard to get that kind of result without going under the knife with a facial plastic surgeon. And so those are the 4 areas we're treating on the the facial sculpting side. We also have the TMJ. So TMJ is unique. We reformulated it completely because most TMJ related issues are due to muscle issues, not necessarily the joint. There are joint issues, that cause TMJ, but
internal derangement problems, all kinds of things. But I studied under this guy. Actually, I was his helper in dental school, and this guy, if there was a specialty at that time for TMJ, he would have been the specialist. And he said almost every single one of them has to do with the pterygoid muscles. Yes, the masseter, yes, temporalis, and some different muscles like that. But to strengthen these muscles, I would tell people all the time, and it works about 95% of the time, 90 to 95% of the time, is to jet your jaw forward like this. You do that about 20 times, 7-8 times a day, and it'll help you.
Interesting.
There's been a couple of times, and they're the pterygoid muscles, and there's been a couple of times where, no, that made it worse. And they are always on Friends. It's like, oh, man, sorry, guys. Okay, stop doing that. But that's what one of the many muscles that this helps is those pterygoid muscles. It strengthens those muscles. That pterygoid muscle is hooked onto a disc that is in between the skull and the condyle of the jaw. So if this is the bottom of the skull, as you open it, slides down that fossa there, and if the disc is out in place, it pops over it. And so what happens with that muscle is that it strengthens that muscle to put it into place to bring it where it's supposed to be every time you open your mouth. That's what happens. It increases the blood flow, it decreases strength. All of those things that I learned 35, 40 years ago, are coming true now with this machine, and it does it how many times? 11,000? How many?
75,000
pulses. 75,000?
75,000 electric pulses.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, so these pterygoid muscles, we want to strengthen them, and that's what helps keep this disc into place, so when you open up your mouth, it doesn't pop or grind or whatever. And, here I'm telling them to do it 15, 20 times, reps, and do it 7, 8 times. You're looking at maybe 160 firings of these muscles. How many times does this TMJ applicator actually help fire the muscles in a session?
In a 20-minute session, we're getting about 75,000 electrical pulses.
75,000. Okay. It reminds me of the Kegels, where you're getting, what, 11,000?
On the Emsella, 11,000 Kegels.
Yeah, and you're getting 11,000 Kegels in 28 minutes. It's like, really? You talk to a woman, there's no way that they're going to be doing 11,000 Kegels in 30 minutes, right? You're not going to be doing 75,000 firings in 20 minutes with your jaw. These machines are just incredible. They strengthen, they tone, they help, they get rid of pain, they do all kinds of different things. But anyway, sorry, I got off on that, Crete. So go ahead and talk about the TMJ side of it again.
Yeah, again, most TMJ related issues are muscle induced. And so we just need to get in there. We got to relax those muscles, get them firing correctly. We got to retrain them, and we got to get them moving the way they should be moving. And a big part of that is blood flow to the area as well. Yes. We got to get a sheer amount of blood flow to the area. So with that TMJ function, we are getting a huge increase in range of motion, massive increase in blood circulation. We're re-educating that muscle, decrease in popping, clicking, and a big decrease in pain.
Right.
Which, I mean, it changes people's lives. When I heard there was one story where there was this particular guy that he liked eating nuts, like almonds, throughout the day, but he couldn't do it anymore because of his TMJ got so severe. And so this was actually, it was after his second treatment. I was asking him how it was going. He was like, hey, I can eat my almonds again.
That's nice.
Yeah. So it's funny how these little daily things that this affects in a massive way. I mean, it affects your talking. It affects your sleep.
Eating, come on.
Eating.
It affects our eating.
Eating's a massive part of our life. Yeah, absolutely.
We love eating, right?
Yeah.
Come on. I'm addicted to it.
Yeah, we all are. We all are. And so it is huge what that is able to do. And again, non-invasive. 4 20-minute treatments, and we're able to help solve that TMJ issue for so many people. Most people have to get, night guards that they put in every single night. Yeah. You go get Botox to help paralyze that muscle, take away the pain. Whereas this is actually going to the root cause, re-educating that muscle and getting it to function the way it should.
Right. And night guards are used for a number of different things, and one of them is TMJ and one of them is for grinding. So I believe that the night guards are used greatly in my practice for grinding, not so much TMJ or TMD problems, but yes, we have treated a couple of people with TMJ. We've had these machines, and the TMJ just came out a few months ago. Yeah. Anyway, okay, because BTL again, they do all this research, and they may have thought about it 5 years ago. But they didn't do they had all the research, and they couldn't get the FDA clearance until now. And it's just a different mode on the computer. Push a couple buttons and there it goes, and it's totally different. Uses the same type of pad on for the cheeks, but it's arranged differently, and it creates and gives different hertz or different, how fast the muscle twitches or how deeply it twitches. All of those things is what they're taught. What has been talking about with the research that BTL's done and what's going to be best for it. So yeah, I'm really excited about the TMJ side of it.
Yeah.
There's always skeptical people out there. Oh yeah, I don't know. Had this girl come in the other week. Yeah, I'll talk to my mom about it. But she would open just a little bit and she's popping and creaking. Oh, that hurts. Had a patient up in Alaska last week. He was 17 years old. Just, oh my gosh, it's one of the biggest pops sounds all the time. He goes, my jaw locks. I go, well, it doesn't really lock, it pops. Locking is where it's locked and you can't open or close anything. That's what that is. But anyway, I wish I could take the EMFACE up to Alaska, but not recently. So tell us more about the different hand pieces and different treatment modalities we can use with this, like the wand and the microneedling.
Yeah, absolutely. So there are 2 additional hand pieces that Doc has. One of them is called the EMFACE, and this hand piece, it feels like a hot stone massage. And basically what we're doing is we are using targeted ultrasound and radio frequency to help boost the body's ability to produce hyaluronic acid naturally. So what hyaluronic is basically the main driver of hydration in your skin. Every molecule of hyaluronic acid is able to hold a lot of water. And so the less hyaluronic acid you have in your skin, the less water you can hold, the drier your skin. And it happens naturally with age. And it's interesting. So our bodies naturally produce it. At the age of 22, that production starts to tank. At a very young age. When I first learned that, I was very surprised because a lot of other processes take longer. That one tanks very soon. And there's a lot of different ways to put hyaluronic acid into your face externally. And so that's why, all this medical grade skincare in the creams, the oils, the fillers, you're going to see hyaluronic acid on the back of a lot of those. And so if you can utilize that to get hyaluronic acid into your skin, absolutely do it with the creams, the oils. The thing about it is your skin can only absorb so much of it. And so there is, again, just like with everything else, there's nothing like increasing your body's ability to do it naturally. And so we increase hyaluronic acid production by over 220%. And so your skin is fairer, it's more hydrated, it looks better. Just like it did when you were younger.
Right.
And so it's all about getting it way more hydrated. And so all the different facial aesthetic treatments you can do, you can tighten skin. Again, you can remove pigmentation. What this is doing is giving you healthier, more hydrated, more youthful skin. But
you're making it. It's not that you have to buy a $80 tube of lotion to put it on your face. This is something that we're training your body to make itself.
Absolutely.
Which is,
at a cellular level, we're fixing the skin.
And it's just like me telling people in dentistry, is like, you can come and see me every 6 months, get your teeth cleaned, but is that good? Yes, it is. But what's the big thing? You've got to do something at home, So, and that home is analogous to your body's got to do something. If we can get your body to do something that you don't have to do externally, oh my goodness, we've won half the battle.
Yep.
At least.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that this EMFACE.
EMFACE.
Why can't I get that on there? This is one of the EMFACE does, is help create that hyaluronic acid, 220%. That's a lot.
It's a huge increase. And again, to your point, it's about healing the body's ability to produce it. And that is, again, in this world we live in, not just with facial aesthetics, but with everything else. We're all about putting things into our body. We're all about fixing it externally rather than finding ways to actually help our bodies function better.
Yeah.
And so this is helping our skin function better for a natural, more youthful look.
We got
Again,
a pill
that's-
for that.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah.
We got, you don't have to
Yeah.
do anything. We got a pill for that.
Yeah.
Here's a shot.
Yeah.
Whatever. These things help your body fix itself.
Absolutely. Yep. So that's what we're doing with the Exion face. The other handpiece you have is called the Exion radiofrequency microneedling. So radiofrequency microneedling is pretty prevalent. There's a lot of radiofrequency microneedling on the market. I'm sure there's a ton down here in St. George. They're all over the place. Radiofrequency microneedling's been around for a very long time. It's one of the best studied facial aesthetic treatments out there. And so some things you want to be careful of is some can be quite painful, and they're very operator dependent. So you've got to get somebody that's pretty well trained or has been done a lot of treatments so that they know exactly how deep they need to go, how much energy to put in. And so it's very operator dependent, your results.
And it's location dependent too.
Absolutely.
And that's where it comes in with the operator. They know, and with our micro needling, you can adjust how deep it goes. Okay, we're going to go this deep here on the cheeks. Oh, we're on the forehead. We're around the eye. We're going to. All of that is a knowledge-based thing that experience you can't really replace without experience.
Absolutely. And the main thing that's different about ours is, number one, it's way less painful. And so most of the other treatments that you need to do, they'll either do, there's this popular one, it's called Pronox, where you'll inhale some Pronox so that you don't feel as much pain. I mean, you do that in your clinic in dentistry as well. And so because it's so painful, ours is not painful at all. You will do some topical numbing, but it's really not painful. Yeah. Number two is it's not as operator dependent in the sense that ours is driven by AI and reads the skin impedance in real time. And so you can set the needle depth, you can set the energy output, but in real time, our headpiece is actually reading the skin impedance and adjusting accordingly.
Really?
Yes.
That part I didn't know. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it helps in a lot of ways to avoid operator mistakes and make it much easier on the operator to do very consistent
and with
great
that,
results.
Yeah, and with that, it seems like if it's measuring the impedance of the skin, then that's why it hurts less, because it knows how deep to go and what to do.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It is pretty amazing. Yeah, the RF microneedling handpiece is pretty amazing. And again, RF microneedling is the gold standard treatment for tightening skin. So if you have a lot of skin that you're trying to tighten in your face, in your neck, down here in your lower neck, on your body, RF microneedling will help that in a huge way. So it's really able to really tighten that skin. In addition to that, scar revision. So, for example, acne scarring, whether it's little ones or big ones, we're able to revise those scars and help get rid of acne scarring. A lot of people,
and I've seen that too.
Yeah, and it's hard, and people are looking in the mirror every day, noticing that, and don't know a solution to that. And so this is helping with acne scarring in a massive way and healing the skin, and then. As well as stretch marks in your body as well. So not only are we able to tighten the skin, burn fat in the body, we're also able to revise the stretch marks and any marks and scars they have on their body as well. And so tightening the skin, scar revision, improving collagen and elastin production, just tightening the skin overall. RF microneedling is so good at all of those things. And again, it's extremely well studied. It's been around for a very long time.
Right.
And so with our device, we're able to treat all skin types from fits 1 to fit 6. Very light skin to very dark skin. You're able to treat all of them. And we have no restrictions there as well.
Right. Well, that's awesome. That's good. What restrictions, and usually young kids won't need to have any of this stuff. Usually it has to do with where we found in our clinic is the scarring, one, more tighter skin, that would be interesting to do some stretch marks too. We haven't done anything like that.
Yeah.
So that would be really cool to do that. But again, we're new at this. If I was doing this for 35 years like I've been doing dentistry and I hadn't doing that, I would say, God, there's something wrong with you. But when we're only been doing this for a few months and, trying to get this business off the ground from scratch, some of those interesting things that are happening that we see, those are really important to us.
Yeah.
Because we see it. It's not just the Utah developmental manager telling us about it or BTL doing it. It's us seeing it and experiencing it. And but yes, that is one of the things we've done the least.
Is the RF microneedling,
yes.
Yeah. And one thing I'll say about having all three modalities, and so you're able to treat a full wide spectrum of people with skin-related issues and for facial aesthetics. So, for example, if somebody wanted to get a facelift and they just wanted to help with these lines around the mouth, get rid of their jowls, EMFACE is going to be a really good fit for them. If you paired EMFACE with EMFACE, not only are you getting collagen, elastin, and a lift, you're getting much tighter skin and overall quality of skin if you paired it with the hyaluronic acid wand, for example, the EMFACE.
Right.
And so there are ways to mix and match so that you can accomplish all of that patient's goals. So
with one machine.
That's correct.
In one place.
So that is huge to be able to do that. So if a patient has multiple different goals, that isn't something that, they need more than one modality, you're able to do all of that in your clinic.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So we're excited. We have some good girls at the clinic too that work really hard to do the best they can with the different machines that we have, and I think we've got it down pretty good with most of them.
Mm-hmm.
We've done a number of TMJ treatments. We've done all kinds of Emsella and M-Sculpt Neo, some ExoMind, all of those machines that we're talking about. The EMFACE is what we're concentrating today on. And, I don't know. I think you've covered quite a bit. Is there anything else?
Can I tell you a couple stories?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
please, I love stories.
Yeah. And I'll try to tell a story for each area. So starting with the forehead, I've had multiple stories that are very similar. And really, it's about the drooping eyebrow.
Really?
It's like they just feel like their eyebrows are drooping, everything's just coming down. So with the forehead applicator, I've seen it time and time and time again. And one just last week, I came in, happened to be the same day that this clinic was doing the after on this woman, and her eyebrows were fully lifted. It was amazing. So
Wow.
Forehead and lifting the eyebrows under the eye bags. Two stories here. One was a younger client. She was in her 30s. And that it was just tired eyes, just looks like tired eyes. She didn't have a lot of wrinkles. It was just tired eyes. And after her fourth treatment, they took the after and they had completely disappeared, her under the eye bags. I'll have to show you that picture.
That would be awesome.
And so it completely got rid of those. She was so head over heels about that result. Another one is an older woman. She was in her late 60s. She had more wrinkles under the eyes and around the eyes, and under the eye bags. And it was able to. It didn't get. There were a lot of wrinkles in her case, and so it significantly softened. Probably got rid of about 80% of them. And really softened the wrinkles under the eyes and around the eye and got rid of the under the eye bags, which, does wonders for confidence. She couldn't stop looking in the mirror. it's amazing.
And just you look younger and more refreshed instead of just tired all the time.
Absolutely. And then with the cheek applicators, there was one woman where she was like, look, I'm good under the eyes, good on the forehead, I'm good. There are two things that are bothering me. The lines around my mouth, and she just had little pockets here from the jowls. And she did 4 treatments, and they did the before and after pictures, and she was able to get completely rid of These little pockets here with her jowls, completely got rid of them. And these lines around the mouth were completely gotten rid of as well.
So we got more of a V shape.
Yep, absolutely. Okay. And was just able to lift the skin back to where it's supposed to be. And then TMJ stories, I could write a book. I could write a book about the TMJ stories. I mean, I've heard people that have had chronic pain for over a decade that have tried everything. They even got Botox at this clinic, tried Botox at a different clinic, and then came back and they did the EMFACE, and it completely changed their life.
Wow. Wow, that's awesome.
Every time, so with EMFACE, what's really fascinating is the increase in range of motion. After one treatment, the average that I see is right around 25% increase in range of motion after one treatment. The biggest I ever saw was a 50% increase in range of motion.
And what we're talking about too is, in dentistry, we were always taught, hey, how wide can you open? We measure with our fingers, Why, 3 fingers, 2, 1, 2.5. And we have millimeter scales and rulers that we can measure that with. Range of motion is a little bit harder to do, but you talk about getting rid of these lines right here. Last week, dentures are a big thing up in Alaska, and so we're making these new dentures for this older gentleman, and when he put his old ones in, his face is collapsed. I bring his wife in and I say, okay, so let's look at the difference. Let's look at the new ones that we have in wax to make sure this is where he wants them. Opens up and he literally looked, and she said this, you look younger. You look way younger because we've got rid of these wrinkles right here and your mouth is open a little bit. And this is what EMFACE does for patients. It repositions things. It strengthens the skin. It tightens the skin. It strengthens the muscle and brings these different parts of the body, which are fat pads, into where they're supposed to be. Tightens the skin so you don't have this jowl looking thing here. It does all kinds of things. We do that with dentures, but without increasing the muscle, without increasing hyaluronic acid, without increasing any of these things that these machines do. And we make them look younger by opening up their vertical dimension. There's between their chin and their nose. And you don't have to do that because with the EMFACE, it strengthens the muscles to begin with. So it helps from the inside out.
Yes.
Not the outside in. And it helps outside in, but inside out too. It helps with all of it.
Yes. Yep. It is, in BTL, we're all about root cause medicine. And the root cause of facial aging is skin laxity, fat accumulation, and muscle laxity. And when we're able to target the muscles so that they're functioning correctly and they're able to reposition the skin that's on top of them, the fatty pads that are on top of them, and you're working from the inside out, not only are you getting a result now, but it is now also preventative medicine. And that is a huge piece.
That's giant.
Yes, there's a huge piece with what EMFACE is doing, is we are pushing father time down the road.
Yeah.
Well, so, because now you can counteract gravity. Gravity is doing its thing all day long. When you strengthen these muscles, you're able to keep it up.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. That's good. I'm so excited that I got into this business. I'm blessed to get to know you, and you're my friend, and we see each other, a couple times a month or so, and we talk on the phone, and just how we basically talk about the end result is how to make people's lives better.
Yeah.
That's really what it's all about. And of course, it's a business. My goodness. You say, oh, well, yeah, you're getting money for it. Yes, but the end result and the real drive here is to make things better.
Yeah.
It's to make you happier, make you stronger, make you look younger, feel younger, act younger, your body be younger, create different things so that again, that it heals itself from the inside out.
Yep.
These are important things, and it sounds so dramatic, but it doesn't matter. It's true.
Yeah.
It's it's true. Plain and simple. Doesn't matter. It's true. You know, I say that all the time. I'm sorry you have some problems with your teeth. You know, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but it's still the truth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it is the truth. We change people's lives. We make them feel better. We make them look younger. We make them feel better about themselves. More confidence. Just so many things. And everybody, what do people look at the most in face? Eyes and teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Mouth. And if we can enhance everything around those two things, holy smokes, we've got it made.
Yeah. Yeah. And now you're not just helping with smiles, but you're helping frame the smile as well.
That's a great statement right there. Helping frame the smile.
Yeah.
I love it. This is Dr. Brian Tavoian. I like to be just called Brian, at Tavoian Family Dentistry, and of course, Southern Utah Face, Mind, and Body. And that's what we're all about, is we're all about the body and the mind and the face and, of course, the teeth. But this has just kind of been a fun podcast to be with Crete here. And we're just happy to be here. This is cool. It's fun. We want you to be able to know that you have someone that can help you with so many modalities in your life and different parts of the body. Of course, I'm a dentist. I'm a dentist first, and that's the thing. But this EMFACE that we've been talking about frames that smile. It helps it make it look better. If you have any questions, want to have a tour of the machines of our facility, what we can help you with, please call. It's the easiest number in Cedar City to remember. 586-0123. Again, that's 586-0123. Barbara Julie will answer the phone. You know, Tavoian Dentistry and Southern Utah Face, Mind, and Body. Ask questions. They'll ask you questions. We'll get to know each other, and I'd love to see you there. We'd give a free consultation. That's really important for you guys to understand. It's a free consultation. You can see what's going on, see what we have, see what results are, because we'll have some pictures if you want with the people that say they want their pictures to be related. Other than that, we won't. We keep it private, but give us a call. Easiest number in Cedar City to remember, 586-0123. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you next time.